Bodine 52, how are you folks? Well, it's been 2 days since the wife and I have been back from our first motorcycle vacation. 1,600 miles of touring on this beautiful Road Glide Limited. And I am going to share with you the top 5 takeaways I got from riding this motorcycle. So, the first thing that I would say, and most important to me now, if you don't follow the channel, my wife, Mrs. Bodine, hurt her hip about 6 or 7 months ago, so that still bothers her every now and then. And this was really her first ride, and our first ride, about 550 miles each way. We did, like I said in the intro, about 1,600 for the trip, but it was a 500-mile stint. We decided to take it in 300, 220, something like that. So, which was really the plan. And this bike, especially with the Mustang seat that I have on this, and I transferred this over when I sold my Ultra, really super comfortable. And it was the same for Mrs. Bodine. I mean, she was extremely pleased with the comfort of the ride. She could wiggle around a little bit, but she was also felt like her legs were stretched and that she wasn't all cramped up. We do take the backrest off, which I use when I ride by myself, off, and I kind of lean back into her if needed. But really wasn't a problem at all for me. And I am 6'3". Extremely comfortable on this motorcycle. So I will tell you, and that was the most important thing in touring with your spouse for the first time riding 2-up, which was making sure that she is comfortable, and this motorcycle hits the bill there for sure. So the second thing is, how does the motorcycle do at highway speeds? Now, I am not going to, at least in this video, share my thoughts on the difference between the Ultra and the Road Glide as far as the Batwing fairing or Shark Nose fairing. That's for another video and another conversation. But from a perspective of riding on the highway, which we did most of the trip down there, just needed to do that to get to where we were rolling, which was in Tennessee. And, you got to pay the price riding on some highways to get to the destination that has the great roads. But the bike just did fantastic. We did about 5 over most of the way down. The speed limit was mostly 70. So we did 75, I would say pretty consistently on the way down there. Tons and tons of trucks. We went down... left on a Thursday, so Thursday and Friday were travel days for us. So a lot of truckers out there, and always felt comfortable with control of the bike. Plenty of horsepower to get past the trucks as you need to, up around the mountains and all that. Even with 2-up and a bunch of gear, this 114 really came through, and really pleased with how the bike rode, and your ability to really cut through the wind and be able to take it on the highway and feel real comfortable with it. The third thing, and ties in a little bit into the highway riding, was how the bike handles. It really does handle well. It is still new to me, so when we left the trip, I had about 1,000 miles on it. So still getting used to it. Still getting used to the stock bars that I'll flip out at some point. But I will tell you that the bike handled really well. On the trip down there, you're mostly doing highway speeds. But even while we were down there and still learning the bike, the ability to corner and all that stuff that you need to do on some tighter roads up in the Smokies, the bike did fantastic with that. I will tell you that our first trip, so we overpacked. I've talked about this on other videos. and I'll link that in the description. But we also decided to bring a Rick Rack bag, and if you don't know what one of those are, here's a picture right here. So when we went down with the Rick Rack bag, and yeah, there's plenty of ways to pack, and I think we did a halfway decent job, but we definitely learned a lot. I will tell you with that pack, and the weight that we had on the bike, it definitely made a difference. It made a difference when you're going under 10 miles an hour. I remember we were in the Daniel Boone National Forest. We were going through the NADA, I think it is, NADA tunnel, and you're going about 5 miles an hour. It's an uneven road. I remember just the bars, having to grab them and making sure that that I was keeping it steady, because at slower speeds with that weight, I don't think it's the bike. I know it's not the bike. It really does cause a challenge for you when you're riding at slow speeds. Now, I will tell you that we did not bring that back. We had a friend that was with us, and he took it back. His wife came up in a car, so they took it back with them. And as I rode it back without that and a couple extra things that we brought with us, bike was perfect. So that weight on the bike definitely matters. Other than that, it maneuvered fantastic. So I will tell you that the fourth thing, and it's kind of the same as maneuvering around with the bike, but I will tell you that the ride down from Michigan to Tazewell, Tennessee, which is where the house in the mountains that the six of us stayed in, which was gorgeous, by the way. I will tell you, the first 200 miles, we were in some good rain. First of all, thank God for Harley rain gear, and yeah, I know it's expensive. As somebody who rode a couple hundred miles in it, I will tell you it was money well spent. But, so, new to the bike, has 1,000 miles on it. Wife has not rode long rides. We haven't really toured on it. And, of course, with her challenge with her hip at times. And we really stopped we've figured out that 100 miles is about where we like to stop. At least on this trip, it worked out. But that first 200 miles was all rain. So you're on the highway, busting through Ohio, and it's pouring down rain. Not bad enough to stop. I think we only had to stop and take cover maybe once for about 10-15 minutes. Other than that, you're pretty much hitting the road pretty hard with the rain and all the trucks. The motorcycle just did fantastic. There was no worries about it at all, whether it was passing trucks or just handling some of the conditions. And super proud of Mrs. Bodine, because I kept checking her on her through the comms. You okay? You okay? And she was great the whole time. So she did awesome. But the bike was amazing, even in tough weather conditions. And the last thing is, I will tell you what, when you are riding a big cruiser like this, it's a 114, a Milwaukee 8 motor, and you're on some of those, roads that just seem like they go forever. This thing is a mileage buster. On our way home, we were planning to do 300 miles the first day, 225-ish the second day. And our first 100 miles, we were just killing it. I mean, we almost didn't stop, but I kind of forced. I said, hey, we're going to stop. I want you to get out and walk, and, let's get something to drink. And, of course, we get back on the bike. It's looking like it's going to rain. We don't put our rain gear on, and 10 minutes later, we are in the middle of a rainstorm like I've never seen before. I could just feel the rain hitting my chest on a mesh jacket, and the rain just rolling down my chest. And it was bad, enough to where we had to stop. There was a wreck on the highway which was slowing us down, and it really stopped traffic for a while. So we ended up being able to backtrack, went into a place to eat, and there was a hotel next door. So after wanting to knock out that first day and make the second day easy, we ended up going 140 miles day one, and we're disappointed in that, but really fortunate, even though it was only 1 o'clock, to find shelter at a hotel where we could hang out and get something to eat and relax and all that stuff. So it ended up working out. But that second day, as we still had to get through the beautiful town of Cincinnati. If you're from Cincinnati, no offense, but the whole bridge painting and construction thing you guys got going on downtown must be frustrating to you. So the bike did fantastic in that slow speeds, but we knocked out just under 400 miles that last day, and though we were a little tired, felt like we could even go more. So this thing busts the miles, and it does it comfortably. So that is really it. That is my take on how the bike did on our first trip. We're at 2,600 miles, so we're getting some miles on it right away, and super excited. Had a great time, but I'll tell you what, if you were thinking of doing something from a touring perspective and long miles, and you have a road glide, you're going to be super happy. That is it, folks, for Bodine 52. Thanks for checking in on the channel. I do have an Instagram channel as well that goes, our Instagram page goes by Bodine 52. Check it out, if you will. Also have a merchandise shop that you can find in the description. I don't do a lot with that, but if you like any Bodine gear, you can catch it there. And always appreciate you checking out the channel. Hit the like button if you liked the video. If you didn't, we still appreciate you stopping in. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so if you like the channel, and love to have you join the family. That's it for Bodine 52. Be safe out there. Be vigilant. Check in a friend, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.